The Holy Nation is known for being super into non-platonic bro-on-bro love, brutal enslavement, and rampant racism, just like my Uncle Brandon. But few people know about their extreme and morally dubious fetish for zoophilia, namely with goats. Yes, when the Holy Nation isn't forcing people into slavery, preaching to everybody about the benefits of a vegan-based diet, and licking the boots of their ultra-bay Phoenix senpai, they are down in the fertile pastures of the Okrussi, exuberantly molesting untold amount of goats. Rape's bad. Well, the soft, supple, and silky figure that is a bleating goat can only take so much non-consensual forced secondhand masturbation before being pushed to the edge. The edge is actually where the Holy Nation would fuck the goats, on the edge of a cliff, so that way they push back. The goats did the only thing that they could do in this situation. They performed the unholy sacrament and called forth the true Dark Lord. Now, they didn't want to unleash this force upon the world, but their hooves were tied. And I don't just mean tied like how the Holy Nation paladins tied them up in a BDSM fashion. Which they did do. 50 Shades of Goat, anyone? His vengeance is unfathomable. His vengeance is unfathomable. His vengeance is unfathomable. Unfathomable. I can't say that fucking word. His vengeance is unfathomable. Ah, fuck it. His wrath capable of rending the earth. His heart knows only darkness. He also has an uncanny knack for interior decorating. The true Dark Lord and his 4 goatmen of the apocalypse were splooged forth from the darkest recesses of the goat underworld to bring balance and dignity back to goat kind. Okay, so I know this is a weird premise for a video, but just fucking go with it, okay? Real quick, if you're new here and enjoy the video, or if you're not subscribed but find yourself coming back, just subscribe. I mean, you're already coming back anyway. It's the best way to support the channel, and I get off to seeing those numbers go up. Do it for me, Daddy Senpai. Ooh woo. Now let me introduce you to our protagonists. First, we have a furry hentai artist's wet dream, the true Dark Lord, self-proclaimed Giga Chad and wielder of 9 inches of throbbing goat cock. That's 9 inches of girth, not length. He ain't gonna hit back, but he'll split the sides, goddammit. And meet Death. She used to be an international porn star until she took a dildo to the knee. Oh, how lewd. This is War. He's known for walking into bars and yelling, "Who wants some dick?" He says it's faster and more efficient to find a hookup. There's no time lost. That's actually how I met my wife. And here's Famine, who's basically just a fat pile of goat shit. He's afflicted by many maladies, namely OCD and obesity, but he's working through it, one day at a time. And this ultra babe is Conquest, wielder of the mighty heavies, delivering ample amounts of goat milk straight from the tap to all the thirsty simps. With them come their army, the Goats of Destiny, whose mighty hooves shake the earth and boom like thunder from down under, across all the world. They shall lead the charge in our unholy race war for goat supremacy. By their hands, hooves, shall goats no longer be sequestered to reservations, genociding and fucking our peoples. On the bright side, though, we do have some banging casinos. I also named every goat after my Patreon and YouTube members, then filling the rest of the ranks with random Discord members and subscribers. So you may actually see your name here today, which also means that you may have been violently molested by a Holy Nation paladin. But let's focus on the bright side. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm also using mods for this video. You'll find them in the video description. A special thanks to Atlas, the creator of Genesis and the one who made this erotic furry Goatman roleplay start for me. I'll link his channel in the description as well. Send him some feet pics for me, would ya? He's a fucking freak like that. Speaking of mods, I got this one too. Best mod ever. Dark Lord bless this mod. And this is actually a good time to do a tit review. These yitties are well spaced, making the perfect cum gutter right in betwixt. 2 supple yet firm mammaries making up the majority of the titular mass. There is an immense lack of nipple, but it's possibly just covered up with fur, which is quite silky. They have a decent amount of bounce, so you know she's all natural. I'd give these heavies a 6.9 ooh-woos out of damn. Yeah, I'm a pig, I know. It's funny because IRL, as they say, I'm actually really respectful, especially to women, as long as they keep making me fucking sandwiches. Anyway, let's begin, shall we? We begin with basically nothing. Only the Dark Lord has any equipment, and we have meager amounts of food, and 50 unholy goats to feed. They say an army marches on its stomach. Well, goats have 4 stomachs. I have 50 goats. That's 200 stomachs. We need a lot of grub, Bubba. Right, meow, we're here. At the fabled goat tower located at the edge of the world, our best chance of getting food will be marching into the Great Dussy with all of its dusty goodness. And it was at this time I made a grave error. Our squad size is capped at 50, and right now I have 55. By moving the goatmen out of the goat squad, I will no longer be able to put them back. And if you know how animals are fed in Kenshi, well, you might be able to see where the issue is here. Animals will only eat out of the backpacks of squad members, so yeah. I fucked up. But at least I got to name the squad some badass shit, so, that's cool. We then came across our first adversary, the mighty Skimmer. 'Twas time to test our army's capability. Well, fuck yeah, bud. I think they passed. The Skimmer basically begged us to turn him into a Slappin' Sam sandwich, trademark. And with that, we scored our first meals. Rancid meat. Which is no problem, because goats will eat anything. Even Holy Nation cock, which is part of the reason we've been abused for so many years. Like Lizzo, goats will put just about anything in their mouths. The journey continues through the hot desert sun, empty stomachs, and one of our goatmen limping? What the fuck? Why are you limping? Well, as it turns out, our general's stats are actually quite shit, at least compared to the goats of destiny. And of course, the Dark Lord himself. It was Famine's fat ass slowing down our army's march, which kinda looks like a snake slithering around. Fucking dope, dude. But even with this hobbling fat turd, we found ourselves at our first city. Now, it was basically completely desolate and devoid of all civilization. It must have had a disaster and received zero government assistance. Just like Maui. Hopefully they at least got 3 cats, because that's more than enough, right? And with the Dark Lord being a master lockpicker, lockpicker, we're able to get inside and peruse the streets. There was a single shop which allowed us to pick up some basic armaments. Even though we started with no gear and no food, we do have copious amounts of schmackles. And while we have Skrilla, we currently have no place to spend it on food. But being poor is one of the most effective weight loss plans, so this may actually benefit Famine, but I can't say the same for the rest of our team. So we press on, organized into our phallus-like marching position. Noticing a distant hiver village is the next best bet to get some tasty num-nums. Now, while I don't enjoy giving money to hivers, who are basically the Chinamen of Kenshi, I fear I have no choice. Starvation is our current adversary, whom we must conquer before we can conquer the Holy Nation. Arriving at the Hive village, we were met with numerous racial slurs, but they had the sustenance we required, so we'll let it slide. We cleaned them out of their stock of grub and even picked up some armor. As much as it pains me to cover up the yitties, I really have no choice. It must be done. Now we can finally plunge through the cusp of the Great Dussy. After I satiate the herd, that is. Don't worry, I do figure out a better way to do this soon. Though it was good to feed the goats, it will take much more than hiver scraps to please them. Continuing into the night, through the sandpapery winds, our anaconda of goats march. Only the sound of hooves stomping breaking the silence of the peaceful nighttime air, like some sort of furry ASMR. Finally, we reached civilization and made another stop at the local grub hub. Seeing as how we could really use some backpacks and being too impatient to wait until morning, the Dark Lord once again used his masterful skills to break into the local traveler's shop. Too easy. Or so I thought. Now equipping myself with our legitimately acquired goods should be enough to continue on with our mission of destroying the Holy Nation. But no, I'll admit I got greedy, and it was quickly discovered by this man who wasn't asleep because he was probably deep in masturbation. Well, if you think that I'll just accept this mistake and fight my way out of the city, to you I say, you don't know me, son. This is not how our lore goes. But after a quick save scum, they caught me again and again. And again, even when I tried not to steal. So, the Dark Lord being caught red-hooved is canon now, and we will hightail it out of here. We're going full W out of this bitch. The front runners who caught us outside presented a unique opportunity to further test our goat's abilities and equip ourselves for the fight to come. Now, is it still zoophilia if the animal is fucking you? Because we're absolutely running a train on these dudes. Once we had proven that samurais were no match for goat brutality, we stripped them buck-ass naked and donned ourselves in their garments. We were now equipped with the latest in slave trading technology and prepared to continue on towards the land of homoerotic incels. The goats obviously couldn't be equipped with anything due to their lack of opposable goat thumbs, but their hooves are convenient for trampling one's enemies. It's a very wholesome experience. Of course, due to our goats' insatiable appetites, we had to hit a quick drive-through. And look here, see, I did figure out a better way to feed the boys. We are, of course, on somewhat of a clock to complete our mission. I mean, it's only a matter of time before the food runs dry and stomach runs empty. The starvation simulator that is Kenshi doesn't care if you're a mythical being with an unholy army of destiny goats. Oh no, you will die, famished and withered like a raisin in the sun. just the same as anyone. Hey, that rhymed. I did have to pick up Famine's gargantuan ass because he was falling behind, again. But you gotta look out for your homies. Then, coming across a group of slavers, only one of them had the required amount of autism to try and challenge us. I had but one thought. I'd like to see you try. Needless to say, he crumbled like a firewall on Hillary Clinton's computer. I respect his big balls, but not his small brains. Now, being an unholy ethereal being with a monstrous horde of adorable goats, you'd think they would be able to run together in unison. But even though we have a nightmare of a smile, dark black eyes like a pathway to eternity, we still succumb to my most notorious rival, Kenshi Pathfinding. These hentai-dreamed giant tentacles are a fucking nightmare for pathfinding. But it was a challenge we were able to overcome. We were then beset on by a hiver caravan, who being Chinese tried to scam me into buying a lantern that puts Fogmen at bay. Now, I've fallen for this scam once before. Never again will the commies get my hard-earned cats. Not today, hiver scum. Plus, the last thing I want to do in this video is detour Fogmen. But more on that later.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
Upon reaching the skim sands, all that happened was a chance for more dinner. But look how fast these good boys eat their din-dins. Instant satisfaction, with our hunger finally quenched. For now, at least. Hopefully our malnourishment will abate before reaching Phoenix and his fairy little dandy boys. Before we reach him, though, another hurdle. Ogren's shield. There's no reasonable way around it, so we have to penetrate through it. Guarded by droves of incels. A time for our mettle to be tested once again. Will the guards with their sunken heads try and stop our death march? Nope, they let us waltz right past. They were quaking in their Ugg boots, spilling their non-fat one-pump soy lattes, too afraid to try and stop us. These bastards don't know of the evil they just let through the door. These nerds just signed a check the Holy Nation can't cash. That will spell the end of the Holy Nation as they know it. Now, it is important to note, in the eyes of the game, the Goatmen are considered Scorchlanders, but that doesn't matter. Just don't pay attention to it, goddammit. So anyway, onwards to the pride of Ogren. But first, check out this dope-ass lightning shot. Fucking cool, huh, Bubba? Almost as cool and refreshing as Zen. Bam, product placement. Ah, our first Holy Nation town. These poor saps are enjoying the last sleep of their lives. We need a place to rest and recoup from malnourishment before besieging Phoenix's city, and they were unfortunately unlucky enough to have built their homes here. A wise man once said, if the enemy is across a border, it's a war. If the enemy is within your border, it's a genocide. Well, bitch, these are goat borders. Time to put those genocide pants on, Bubba. It's massacre time. Just look at how these cocksuckers have enslaved our brothers. Sure, they're much weaker than the goats of destiny, but goddammit, it's just not right. Probably taking them off to the cliff for a fucking as we speak. And I'd be amiss if I didn't steal some of their shit first. The Dark Lord may be a klepto, and he will probably jerk off to this later. But we got a copy of the Holy Flame, first edition, which is filled with vile propaganda, brainwashing the masses into beliefs that make no sense. The Holy Flame is a fucking joke. Just like women's sports. And I'm not gonna stand for it, but I might kneel. Well, with another attempt at a B&E, the fight was on. Guess these incels don't like it when you break into their holy sites. Time to fuck them up. Don't believe me? I'll prove it to you. Just like I can prove that white men can jump. Go watch any footage from 9/11, and then watch this. Now with that out of the way, like any good government organization, we shall now disarm the populace for, their safety. Yeah. They can't hurt themselves if we're the only ones who are able to hurt them. Plus, they're sexier when naked, covered in their own blood and entrails. Ooh. Don't need lube if you got blood. With the city and temple having succumbed to the Texas Goatman Massacre, it was recouping time. And there's nothing like recouping with a good Dark Lord sermon. The Holy Nation hates us now. That's fine. We hate having their pencil dicks penetrate in our glorious goat holes. It's now finally time to move on Phoenix. Make him pay for what he's done to us. He and his homies shall perish, trampled under our mighty hooves. As it was written, so shall it come to pass. And just who's gonna carry the log? This motherfucker. They will try and resist us, but resistance, as they say, is futile. We shall piss on their graves. So with Pajunder, or Pagunder, I don't really know how to say it, being successfully conquested, it was time to move forward onto Blister Hill. And Bubba, we're gonna blister their assholes with just how hard we're about to fuck them. They gonna need more than Preparation H by the time we're done. It's gonna be bad. But what's not bad is watching these goaty hoes run. God bless them. Every one. Even with armor on, you just can't contain the milk bags. God damn. So Blister Hill, the Phoenix dude's turf. Well guarded, well enforced. a veritable bastion of homosexual goat fornicators, a haven for all things racist and depraved, instead of outright risking the lives of our goats of destiny. Let's try a little subterfuge first, shall we? Because I mean, well, look at this fucking dude. He's strong, actually stronger than the Dark One himself. So if we can just, sneak in and kidnap him, well, I'm not opposed to that. So we shall wait for the cover of darkness to strike and end his reign. But bro, this dude will just not go to bed. I mean, for fuck's sake, you'd think raping goats would tire your mans out, but no! He just loves sitting in that chair. Goddamn jive turkey. But seeing as how we have faith, we trust in it, and we can wait. Yes, we trust in faith, unlike the holy nation who trust in the faith. Finally, he fucks off to bed, so let's strike. The Dark Lord sneaks in, expertly dodging guards and staying in the shadows. But with a 0% chance, only a retard would try and kidnap Phoenix. Well, you know what team I'm playing for, bubba. So, let's save scum, shall we? Full assault it is! We attack at dawn! One final feeding to keep up the boy's strength, and let's fucking do this, bubba. Holy shit, that's a lot of Inquisitors, bud. Jesus Christ. Holy Nation is a bit OP with these mods, dude, I'll say it. It's a little much, but no matter. We shall fight them all the same. Let's fucking do this. Turns out they're pussies. With that little skirmish out of the way, let's heal up and charge the gates. Sneaking in the back door, of course. My man Matt Collin fearlessly charges ahead on his own. Fucking Chad, dude. But man, you ever try and keep 50 bloodthirsty rampaging goats organized? It ain't gonna happen. They're basically gonna run amok for all of this, but yeah. The goats of destiny have the destiny of fucking these dudes up, so it's probably fine. And I really can't be bothered to micro that intently. We've successfully turned Blister Hill into what can only be described as a vor-fueled furry sex convention, the likes of which haven't been seen since the 1997 FurCon in Atlantic City. Ah, those were the days. With the Holy Lord Phoenix right above us in his sodomy center, watching his men get fucked up, we will now penetrate his castle. Well, after I gather the goats, again. I'm telling you, dude, it's fucking chaos. But we regain focus, heading inside and unloading on defenders as the Dark Lord bravely charges ahead on towards Phoenix for their Mono e Goto battle. I chose 1v1 because I want the Dark Lord's first time to be special, spent with that special someone. Just like prom. Once it's over, his clothes will be ripped, he'll have mascara running down his cheeks, and he won't be able to sit down for 3 days, which will make waiting at the doctor's clinic for an abortion that much more memorable. Well, the Dark Lord got fucked up, but that's exactly why I brought 50 goats, cocksucker! So get him, boys. Taste of their non-conventional warfare. Taste of their emotional goat fare. You're a bad dude. You're really gonna wear those shoes with ugly. That cape? Tiny cock. Obviously, no one can stand up to such abuse, so he was defeated. And the Dark Lord showed his goathood by being the last goat standing, regardless of how he got there. So to the victor go the spoils, and we shall wear his drip. So much drip, your man needs a mop to not slip. You gotta enunciate those P's. And we kidnap him because, of course, we have to imprison our political opponents, as is tradition. Cause Bubba, we ain't done yet. The sweet taste of victory was fresh on our flat, wet tongues. But it would not last long. Just like Hunter Biden, we made a mistake. But we'll cover that in a minute. For now, check out the Dark Lord rampage and his new duds. Aw, geez, Mr. Pet, your little goat guy got stuck, you silly goose. We can't just leave you there. Don't worry, Bubba. We'll fix this. There you go. That's better. Oh shit, who the fuck is this guy? I think we found Phoenix's main twink. An otter of sorts. Well, instead of getting fucked by Phoenix, now you're gonna get fucked by goats. Your depraved acts of furry homo bestiality are completely unacceptable. He was quickly goat fucked into submission, and Famine's fat ass is gonna grease up and slide into your skin. We'll need extra Crisco for this. But as we attempted to get out of Blister Hill with our prize, our goatmen of the apocalypse kept slipping on the Dark Lord's new swaggy drips, probably because their stats were fucking garbage. We kept needing the goats of destiny to come save their asses. And finally, after regrouping outside the city and medicing up, I noticed that somewhere along the way here, we had dropped the Holy Lord Phoenix. So, back into the city we go. Son of a bitch. Yeah, dude, suck to be this guy, huh? He's having a bad day. Well, anyway, let's find Phoenix. Again, son of a bitch, there he is. Back in his crib, naked as the day he was born, hiding out in the attic like his name was now Holy Lord Frank. Let's see who gets that joke. Okay, round 2. Big dog's coming. Woof. And he's down. Again. Okay, pick his ass up. Let's get out of here. Again. Now with the prize in tow, it's time we sneak out the back door. Normally I try and sneak in the back door, but then my wife hits me. So where shall we take Phoenix? Unfortunately, we did leave one goat behind, but I really can't be bothered to go get him. He's stuck exactly where Mr. Pest was stuck at, so let's just call it a sacrifice to the Dark Lord. One brave soul to stay and hold the darkness at bay. And yes, I know that we are the actual forces of darkness, but shut up. So anyway, I'm sure you've guessed what lies ahead for Phoenix. Yes. Into the Foglands we go, a mission only for the Dark Lord to undertake, carrying his prey into the thick, juicy, moist fog. We mended his wounds because we're fucking nice guys, okay? We're the protagonist here. We're heroes. And I also want him to suffer for longer. It's not fucked up, you're fucked up. Conveniently, it didn't take long to find fogmen in the Foglands, ravenous cannibals whose hunger rivals that of my bottomless pit of an army of goats. They have a bad tendency to sexually abuse their food before they eat it, and we've brought some tasty num-nums. Then, after finding the perfect stripper pole for our naked captive, well, you know what time it is. Just look at this fucker, awaiting his inevitable demise. That's the face of a man who knows something is terribly wrong. This is what you get for having sex with goats against their will. I mean, dude, at least buy them dinner first. Take them to a movie, brush their fur, warm them up to the idea of bestiality. Don't just stick their back legs in your boot so they can't jump away. A tactic which I would not recommend, lest you incur the Dark Lord's wrath. And slowly, the fogmen start converging on Phoenix, the scent of his freshly spilled blood ripening the air. Bite after bite, they munched on his flesh. Ripping, tearing, clawing fogmen, slurping away, sucking him off, sucking out his life force. He was truly being eaten alive. He finally got the praise and prayers he sought after his entire life. Now he was being worshipped. Now would he be immortalized? Turned into poop or something, you know. Immortalized as a turd laid upon the Foglands floor. More and more the fogmen gathered around him. More and more they tasted of his flesh, devouring him, worshipping him, dismantling him one limb at a time. Aw, look at that face. And look at that arm. It's gone. Yes, look at them all. It's absolutely beautiful. And he's dead, just like that. At last eating his head until he was no more. Nothing left but a pile of Phoenix man goo left sopping on the floor. It was because of this goo that Fogman learned what cum tasted like. What? Phoenix was into some dark shit, man. It's all gone, boys. You ate every bite. Get out of here. So with that, the Holy Lord Phoenix was no more. Erased from the annals of history. Also, apparently I forgot 2 goats in Blister Hill, but would you look at that? The Sheks have already started to move in. Ah, the circle of life. So with that massacre, the Holy Nation were defeated, and the goats would be safe from getting force-fucked. At least for now. A new age of peace should be brought into the world of Kenshi, for after killing every blasphemous pagan in Blister Hill, there would be no one left who could possibly stop the Dark Lord and his goats of destiny. So praise God, Jesus, Allah, Shiva, Xenu, Cthulhu. Praise whatever deity you hold dear to your heart. It matters not, for the Dark Lord is here. And he is here to stay. And he's coming for your bitches, playa. Honestly, when I planned and recorded this video, I didn't intend for it to be about vengeance for goat fucking. But when I started writing the script, things just kind of spiraled out of control. And well, here we are. I guess my heart had a story to tell. So I hope you cats enjoyed this video. A special thanks to the members of the Cheesemonger Society, whose grotesque comments keep me up at night. I adore it greatly. I'll catch you cats on the flippity flop. And as always, I love you, bye.